1962, R&B sensation Ray Charles shook up the status quo in country music with his landmark recording, Modern Sounds in Country and Western Music.
They thought I would lose a lot of fans by doing this, and I took the attitude, well, you know, that's possible. I could lose some fans, but if I do it right, I think I'll gain more fans than I'll lose.
Oh, it's crying time again. You're gonna leave me. I can see that far away look in your eyes.
He gave country music another realm of credibility in his early recordings and brought an audience to country music and turned people onto country music that otherwise probably wouldn't there yet.
So I'll just
Ray's album was a hit and a pivotal moment in country music history.
Because the country music was kind of on what they call on a downturn at that particular time. And when I did this album, that created, at least according to the country people that I've talked to, they swear it's the truth that it really was an uplift in the country and western field at the time.
While Detroit was churning out the Motown sound, music mogul Berry Gordy had his sights on Nashville.
Berry Gordy was a huge fan of country music. Lefty Frizzell was one of the artists that he loved.
The Motown president started 5 country labels. To help with projects in Nashville, Gordy tapped the skills of a young Nashville producer, Mike Curb, in the late 70s.
Berry said, let's try to set up a country music label together, and we did. First it was called, I think, Hitsville, and then it was called Melodyland. And our very first artist, T.G. Shepherd, had a very, very big hit with There's a Devil in the Bottle and then Trying to Beat the Morning Home.
The Supremes even released a country album in 1965.
Those labels put out music that made it to the Billboard Country Singles Chart, and none of them was largely successful. None of them lasted more than a few years, but just that he operated such labels and had such hits is indeed part of country music history.
Crazy, I'm crazy for feeling so lonely. I'm crazy.
Like Ray Charles and Berry Gordy, Kimberly Locke intends to blur the boundaries and find success with multi-formats.
The truth, Kimberly Locke can sing anything she wants to sing.
She's like the Deion Sanders of music. She's like, I'm gonna play baseball and football, and I'm gonna get paid. You know, versatility is usually the formula for finding success.
And I figure the best way to make the most out of my career is to have something for everybody.
Long before Kimberly Locke was born, America was much different than it is now. In the 1960s, the country was very divided, and racial divisions tore apart the very fabric of our nation.
I am black, beautiful, proud. I must be respected.
During this tumultuous time, a Mississippian with movie star good looks and a golden baritone voice rose to become one of the most recognizable names in country music.
No one else has the worldwide name recognition that Charley Pride has.
Charley Pride was just 14 when he bought his first guitar with money he earned picking cotton. He later became a player in the Negro Baseball League. His sports career took him to Montana, and record producer Jack Cowboy Clement brought him to Nashville.
But it was a novelty to have be cut in a country session with a black person.
Oh, the snakes crawl at night. That's what they say. When the sun goes down, then the snakes will play.
Snakes Crawl at Night was the first song Charley and Cowboy Clement cut together.
When I heard him in the studio, that's when I really knew that, hey, I heard that big booming voice come through those speakers in there, and it was great. We drew quite a crowd that first session. Well, I'd promised Chet Atkins I'd play it for him first, so I did. And he kept it for a couple of weeks, and then they turned it down.
But a month later, a casual encounter changed Charlie's life.
Chet Atkins walked by. He asked me if I'd done anything with this colored boy. I said, not yet. I'm thinking about pressing up myself. He said, well, I've been thinking about that. We might be passing up another Elvis Presley.
Oh, the trial in a little while.
He said, I'm Charlie Pride. I said, you're kidding. I said, you're the one that sang Snakes Crawl at Night? I said, I didn't know you were black. He said, I didn't know you were white either.
My oldest sisters used to say to me, why are you singing their music? And I said, but it's my music too. And then they said, how did you weather the storm to go sing, walk out in front of all those people? I don't know, other than I had the courage to do it. I guess it was from God.
Country Charlie Pride. I've always got a smiling face, anytime and any place. And every time they ask me why, I just smile and say, you've got to kiss an angel good morning, and let her know you think about her when you're gone.
Charlie Pride became successful in the industry because he had everything it took to be successful. He was not only was he an incredible singer, he had the passion for it, he lived it.
He was so good that you couldn't refuse his ability, no matter what he looked like.
I can't even fathom what it must have been like to be a black man and having a country music career, and I have everybody on the, kind of probably saying one thing, but who knows what they really felt.
But it sure seems warmer than it did, sleeping in our king-size bed. Is anybody going to San Antonio or Phoenix, Arizona? Any place is all right as long as I can forget I've ever known her.
In the early days of touring, neither Pride nor the audience knew what to expect.
And now, from RCA, Charlie Pride. And I come out of those shadows up in the lights, and it's like turning down a volume. You could drop a pin. So what we had come up with, we said, now, ladies and gentlemen, I realize it's a little unique, me coming out here on a country music show wearing this permanent tan. So I went into my show, and from that 3 o'clock show until 8 o'clock show, I signed autographs.
That's why when you look at somebody like Charlie Pride, you have to have tremendous pride in what he accomplished, because here's a man who loved country so much and had the tenacity to stick with his vision, despite the fact that he might look in the audience and not see a lot of black people.
Audiences didn't seem to mind Pride was black, even though his record company played it safe by not releasing his photo in initial promotional materials. Yet questions still linger about his first album cover.
Rumors still flies around. They didn't put his picture on the cover.